Hello and welcome back at the temple stores of my atelier. Today I want to dive with you into some thoughts around the sun. This eternal dance around the sun from the earth. And Thursdays are naturally ruled by the planet Jupiter, which is intimately governing or moving the element fire. And this resonates on a physical level on the solar plexus area of our body. This is really the intimate vibratory connection we have with that element. And it's about staying in your truth, expressing your light and your power. And talking about power, this is exactly what we kind of are repeating until today in human history. So basically today we are like kind of locked down because it is about protecting ourselves against a virus, which is, as we know, virus and bacteria are predators of Mother Nature. So they exist since the existence of creation. There are infections agents that has a function to support us to come to another level of evolution. Basically, that's the, let's say, a simple explanation of the function of a virus and bacteria. We, since cave time, are facing bacteria and viruses. So a coronavirus is nothing new in the principle, but new in the naming and in the way it's affecting us. That said, I don't want to talk with you today about what we fear to die from. I just really want today to go into the aspect of the intention and the desire we want to live in. So the quality of life we want to have and leave the fear of death just by the side for this small talk between us right now. So dancing around the sun and looking where we're at, we have so many great revelations and so many interesting news also about where the economy is going to be and where we're at the moment, which is a very true reality we're facing. And the thing is, something is repeating because it is not the first time that we are facing an economical crash, that we are facing tragedies, that we are facing abuse of power. It is something that is repeating through history since millennia now. And going back to our history, let's say to our ancestor, as today is also the 11th of November, we celebrate the death and the courageous. I want to go back with you to an historical ancestor lineage that is still having this impact on us today, and in that very reality we're living in today. So let's recall 3 names and go back to global, let's say, natural reset that happened when Venus catalyst overflowed the planet. And we come to the first name of this lineage, which is Noah, one of the survivor of this flood. And from there is the talk about a table of nations, about 70 nations. And we have 3 names. We have Japhet, Shem, and Ham. Those 3 are the official sons and next wave of the heritage of Noah. And from there, Shem became the grandfather of Abraham, which is the lineage for the Jewish and Arabic story that is unfolding until today in its own way. And then we have the other one, which is Ham, which is the grandfather of Nimrod. So Nimrod, who was Nimrod? Nimrod was the first king of Babylon, the creator basically of the kingdom of Babylon. Also related to the Tower of Babylon, which is, according to the history, rebellion of the king Nimrod toward the light source or God and its goddess, and he built up this tower to create a direct link from earth to heaven and to the sun, to demonstrate the power of the human kingdom, much grander than the power of the spiritual kingdom. So in that historical principle, we come to a very, very repeating pattern of humankind. It is power versus force, and really wanting to manipulate and to handle with one man or woman the power. And this is what is repeating until today. And basically everything that we know as an economic structure and as the reality we're moving in is still a repeating pattern from that time, from that very time. And going very back to the source of it, we come to the beginning of creation, when the consciousness split it itself through lovemaking with its creation and created the duality that was necessary, the polarity to embrace everything we name universe, and that the dance of life and the wheel of life could really unfold. So on lower level of frequencies, it is about grabbing, having, manipulating, controlling. In the very elevated, or in a more elevated expression of the same story, it is about sharing, expanding, and enjoying. So those two are like now in a very constricted dialogue since that time. It started after the flood with the grandsons of Noah, which were Nimrod and Abraham. So Nimrod, basically by the lineage, was not meant to become an official king, but however, somehow he did it and became it, but filled with anger and also hate against the true lineage, the logical lineage that was determined from Noah, which was the Abraham lineage. And so Nimrod versus Abraham, that was this constriction that is still repeating until today. So what's the point of my story? Instead of looking at the thing that we fear, we might now take the time to use the clarity and the warmth of the element fire to heal all those old stories, and really use now this timeline that is going to expand into another area, into another chapter of the flower of life unfolding, to use that to clean everything that constricted us as a family on a human level. The choice is individual. Your choice is for sure different than mine, or maybe the same. At the end of the story, we have to meet on the same table again and just consider that we still are the same family members. So that said, I wish you a wonderful time of reflection, of releasing and maybe surrendering which point of your own story is a repeating pattern that you are ready now to give into the fire of transformation, like a letter we want to burn or a ritual to make and to dissolve, to create that space for something more nurturing and more aligned with what we need today, here and now.